Hi, Taurus. This is your reading for the first full weekend in December. I'm doing this reading because the Sun in Sagittarius is squaring off with Neptune and Pisces on Sunday, I believe. And it can lead to confusion, a lack of clarity, some paranoia about things, just not being able to see exactly what's going on, and that causing you to sometimes, be out in left field trying to come up with something. And, the conclusions that we jump to are not always exactly what's happening. So I wanted to bring a little bit of clarity here. And the first card that jumped out is the Seven of Staffs, indicating some defensiveness here. So let's see what that's about. Okay, defensiveness coming to the light, or you're just doing something in your best interest, Taurus. Moving in your best interest, which I can't fault nobody for. It's never a bad thing. Okay, let's see. Because at the bottom of the deck was the Five of Staffs, which is like a confrontational type of energy. But I feel like with the Sun here and the Empress, it's positive. So, what is the Seven of Staffs here about? What's going on with the Seven of Staffs energy? Clarify that. Okay, these came out. We have the Hangman, Knight of Swords, Page of Cups, Seven of Wands again. So that's the double energy of the Seven of Wands. Whatever that is, it is strong. But I will say this: there's been a delay in communication this weekend. You may not be speaking much. You may not be saying much. You may, kind of for your own personal reasons. Because if I see the Seven of Staffs and it's going one going this way, one going that way, and then we have a male facing this way and a female facing that way, I feel like both people, both parties in this relationship are pretty much keeping things to themselves this weekend. There may not be a whole lot of communication this weekend, but I don't feel like it's negative at all. I still feel the loving, happy, positive, nurturing energy that's here. It's just like both parties have things that they need to do for themselves. You need to kind of tend to your own things. So, the communication is kind of at a pause. And I will say, with the kind of energy that's coming up for us this weekend, if communication is not smooth and flowing and direct and assured for both parties, there is that tendency for maybe one person or the other to kind of get in their feelings or feel like, well, they don't care about me if they're not communicating with me, or they don't, let me know what's going on. So my mind is going to start jumping to conclusions, just like I said at the beginning of the reading. But I think there's been a track record of nurturing here and of positive energy within this situation or relationship. Whereas, even if you do start to think, well, why aren't they talking to me? You don't feel it in such a way that is like, a dire need to speak to this person. There is not a whole lot of, this urgent feeling of losing something. I don't feel an energy of loss at all. It's just like, it's almost like an understanding that at this time there's minimal contact, and that's just what it is. I feel like both parties are still really good. They just need to do what they need to do for themselves at this time. There's a very mature energy around this. Like the Page of Cups here, we do have a page present, but it's the Page of Cups. So this is like of minimal emotional investment, and not minimal emotional investment in terms of just not caring. It's just like right now, I can't, well, I'm less bothered with communicating constantly. This is more of, especially since you're Earth sign Taurus, with this Empress here, which reminds me of a Taurus woman. It's more of, I want to get things together in my environment. I want to make sure that I look good, that I feel good, that everything is good in the 3D. You don't have to spend all of your time talking to feel. Some people need lip service. I don't feel like you need that lip service. I think you know that everything is on the up and up. So there's not really a need to be really defensive. In this case, the Seven of Staffs, I feel, is not a defensiveness or either of you turning a back toward one another in that way, because the Sun card and the Empress are so positive that there is not any negativity here. The only downside, I guess, would be that there is a delay in communication. Like maybe for this upcoming weekend, you just don't talk to your person as much as you usually talk to them. And yeah, you may miss that because it does make you happy. But at the same time, there's such a, I feel an unconditional love here. You know what? Not unconditional love. The Goddess Guidance card that I pull, the Kuan Yin, compassion. Release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. I feel like you've gotten to know this person enough to know where their heart lies or where their head is at, concerning you guys' relationship. So there's not a lot of doubt here, which is good. I'm glad that you're not, driving yourself crazy with doubt. Or after you hear this reading, I'm glad you won't be driving yourself crazy with doubt if you don't hear from your person as much as you usually do this upcoming weekend. Don't allow this transit of the sun squaring off with Neptune to cause you to, be paranoid that they don't care about you anymore, or to make you feel guilty about taking the much needed time for yourself. Because in addition to nurturing this person, you also need to always nurture yourself, especially as a divine feminine, and that's who I read for. So that's exactly who I target this message to, and that's who I feel like God wants me to deliver this message to. You need to nurture yourself as well, and I feel like that's exactly what you're doing this weekend, doing things that make you feel good, surrounding yourself with, a nice clean environment, with, floral scents, with sweet taste in your mouth. Just kind of reworking through your wardrobe, maybe donating summer clothes and pulling out some of your fall and winter wear, those type of things. Maybe buying yourself nice perfumes, shopping a few sales, getting you some candles or something. That type of energy here, I feel like, has a big potential to be what is around you this weekend. And yeah, it is taking time for yourself, but it's not in a way that means that you are excluding your other person from your life at all. A lot of the things that you are doing are motivated by your person, I feel. Not to say that you wouldn't take care of yourself without them, but they just give you that extra push to make you just want to, look good and smell nice for them, and also be in a stable state of mind so that when you guys do come back together, that, you'll just be irresistible. You'll be so beautiful and sexy and sensual to them because you take this time for yourself. And there's definitely compassion here, so I don't see any harmful or, you know, negative energy here. It's just you just need that time for yourself. And so does your person, because he's on the other side doing what he needs to do for himself, just in the masculine way. Whereas you, being an empress, you're taking care of yourself in this feminine way. And you both are just doing what you need to do, but there's not an issue about it. Just a little bit less investment in you this weekend, more investment in me. Okay? So, Taurus, that has been your reading. Like the video if it resonates. Also, leave it in the comments what you're doing for yourself, because I always like to hear other people's self care routines, because it may be something that I can add to mine. I chit chat back and forth with you guys. I'll share my routines, you share yours. Okay? Subscribe if you are not already subscribed, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, Taurus.